Every country has a flag. But the Philippine flag is different. It is not just a design, nor simply a marker of identity. It is a declaration, a memory, a layered symbol of struggle, sacrifice, unity, and something even deeper. From its stitching in exile, to its defiance during American suppression, to its rebirth in modern classrooms and protests, this flag has always spoken in the language of resistance and hope. But how much do we actually know about it? That golden sun, what does it really represent? Those three stars, why were they chosen? The white triangle, why that shape? And why, in times of war, does the flag turn upside down? This is not just about colors and symbols. This is about the soul of a nation hidden in its own reflection. In this video, we'll peel back the layers of the Philippine flag, piece by piece, and uncover the ancient wisdom, revolutionary rage, and enduring unity sewn into its cloth. Because to truly understand a people, you must understand the symbols they choose to carry forward. The Philippine flag was not sewn in Manila or Cavite. It was stitched in Hong Kong, in 1898, by three Filipinas, Marcela Agoncillo, her daughter Lorenza, and Delfina Herbosa Natividad, the niece of Dr. Jose Rizal. These Filipinas, living in exile with Emilio Aguinaldo during the height of the Philippine Revolution, created the very first physical symbol of the Filipino people's desire to be free. The setting was humble, no grand workshop, no political fanfare, just three determined Filipinas in a quiet home, threading revolution into fabric by candlelight. The design came from Aguinaldo himself, inspired by Masonic ideals, revolutionary emblems from Cuba and Latin America, and Filipino resistance. Yet it was those three Filipinas who gave it form, who stitched freedom into being. It wasn't just a flag, it was a silent act of rebellion. At the time, the Spanish still controlled the islands. Filipino revolutionaries were being hunted, tortured, and executed. And yet, even before full independence was achieved, the flag was born, not on the battlefield, but in the hands of women. That is part of its power. It carries not only the cry of revolution, but the resilience of women, of exile, and of unity in foreign lands. At the heart of the flag shines a golden sun with 8 rays, perhaps the most iconic feature of the design. Officially, it symbolizes liberty, and the 8 rays represent the first 8 provinces to revolt against Spanish rule: Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Laguna, and Batangas. But that's only the surface. The sun's symbolism goes far beyond 1898. In pre-colonial times, Filipinos revered the sun as a source of divine order. The Tagalog deity Bathala, the Visayan god Lon, and the Bicolano fire spirit Gugurang were all associated with light, fire, and creation. The sun was seen not just as a celestial body, but a living force. It was prayed to during planting rituals. It was honored during warrior initiations. It appeared in ancient tattoos and tribal shields. By placing the sun at the center of the flag, the revolutionaries weren't just invoking liberty. They were connecting that liberty to ancestral continuity. They reclaimed a symbol that had been demonized under Spanish rule and resurrected it as a political and spiritual beacon. That sun reminds us that the Filipino identity didn't begin with colonization. It reaches back, far beyond, to a time when the sun rose not just in the sky, but in the soul of every barangay. The 3 5-pointed stars sit on each corner of the triangle, and each one symbolizes a major island group of the Philippines: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. But their story isn't static. When the flag was first created, the stars originally referred to Luzon, Mindanao, and Panay, not Visayas as a whole. It was only over time that the interpretation evolved. The 3 stars are about aspiration for unity in a nation that is physically fragmented. With over 7,000 islands, dozens of dialects, and diverse tribal lineages, the Philippines is a country of both natural and cultural distance. These stars were meant to bridge that space, to remind every Filipino that they are part of one constellation, one sky. But their placement within the white triangle, facing inward toward the sun, also tells a story. It's not just a map, it's a message. No matter where you come from, north, central, or south, your light reflects into one common center: freedom. In modern times, these stars have been adapted by the Filipino diaspora, often placed in logos, tattoos, even artistic works, to represent pride in heritage and a yearning to remain part of the motherland, no matter how far they go. The white equilateral triangle in the Philippine flag may appear simple, but it holds layers of revolutionary meaning. At the most basic level, it stands for equality and fraternity, inspired by the Enlightenment values that influenced Filipino intellectuals and the Katipunan. But its deeper roots lie in the Freemasonry movement, a secret society that became deeply intertwined with Filipino nationalism during the 19th century. Many of the founding revolutionaries, Emilio Aguinaldo, Andres Bonifacio, Jose Rizal, and others, were either Freemasons or influenced by Masonic ideology. The triangle, in this context, is not random. It is a symbol of moral uprightness, of the three cardinal virtues, liberty, equality, fraternity, and of structural balance, each side supporting the others. Inside this triangle sits the golden sun and the three stars. The triangle cradles them, contains them, protects them. It signifies that the revolution was not just about war, it was about building a society based on unity and equality. The triangle is the scaffold of the nation, and placing it in white, the color of purity, makes the ideal even clearer. The Filipino dream was not just freedom from Spain, but a new moral order for a just society. When students today color the triangle white, they rarely realize they are replicating a code, a symbol passed down by a brotherhood that believed revolution was a sacred right. The flag's three main colors, blue, red, and white, carry officially sanctioned meanings, but like everything else in the design, their interpretations have evolved through time. Blue stands for peace, truth, and justice. Red symbolizes valor, courage, and the bloodshed for freedom. White represents purity and equality. These sound idealistic, and they are. But their placement and flexibility make them especially unique. The Philippine flag is one of the only national flags in the world designed to flip during times of war. When the nation is at peace, the blue field is flown on top. But when war is declared, the flag is inverted, red on top, blue below. This inversion turns a peaceful symbol into a silent battle standard. It has flown upside down during the Philippine-American War, World War II, and even symbolically during protests and revolts such as EDSA. It reminds us that the flag is not static, it lives. It changes with the heartbeat of the nation. The hues themselves have also been debated. The original blue was light Cuban blue, symbolizing solidarity with Latin American revolutionaries. Later, it was replaced with navy blue under American influence. Then, in 1998, the Republic restored the original royal blue. Every thread of this flag carries emotion. Joy in independence, sorrow in loss, anger in oppression, hope in unity. The Philippine flag is not just about symbols. It is a flag that transforms, with history, with context, and with purpose. The journey of the Philippine flag didn't stop after Aguinaldo's Declaration of Independence in 1898. In fact, it entered one of its most dangerous chapters. From 1901 to 1919, during the American occupation, the display of the Philippine flag was banned under the sedition law. Flying it was considered an act of rebellion, punishable by imprisonment or worse. But Filipinos did not let it die. They hid it, whispered about it, sketched it on walls, wove it into handkerchiefs, raised it at night behind closed doors. During World War II, it was both weapon and shield. While the Japanese-sponsored government tried to manipulate its symbolism, Filipino guerrillas reclaimed it, raising it alongside the fight for liberation. In the years following independence in 1946, the flag was finally allowed to flourish, but even then, its meaning was constantly contested. During martial law, Marcos wrapped himself in the flag, but so did the protesters. At EDSA in 1986, the flag was flown not just in support of government, but in defiance of it. It stood above tanks, beside nuns, and on the shoulders of students and workers. In the modern era, the flag appears in diaspora events, OFW rallies, sports tournaments, and national celebrations. Each group brings its own interpretation, but the core symbols remain. This is a flag that was banned, hidden, revived, protested, and loved. It is a living artifact of history that refuses to remain neutral. The Philippine flag is not just something you raise on June 12th. It is a document, a story, a living archive of the Filipino soul. Its sun came from ancient belief. Its triangle from secret brotherhoods. Its stars from a fragmented archipelago trying to stay united. Its colors from war, peace, and the dream of justice. Its stitches from the hands of exiled women who believed the future could be sown. And it continues to evolve. Each generation brings its own meaning. For one, it's a symbol of resistance. For another, a badge of national pride. For another still, it's a quiet prayer whispered through history. Let us not forget who we are. Flags fade, but the ideas behind them, if protected, shine brighter than ever. This flag belongs to every Filipino. To those who fight, to those who remember, and to those still discovering what those 8 rays truly mean.